Dougie, 8 o'clock last night. Describe to us exactly what happened and what the officer was doing there.
Well, hello, Eamon, and welcome to Omagh. I'm about 3 miles out of Omagh, actually, the Killy-Clocker Road. This is a very residential area of this town, and it's the road to Cookstown, just about a few miles up the road. But this sports arena behind us here is for all sorts of sport. It's a very cross-community place to be, and this officer was giving of his time coaching a team in behind here, and at 8 o'clock everything was basically wrapping down. People were ending their night, many children amongst them, and it's believed he was just putting stuff into the boot of his car behind me when 2 men dressed in black opened up, it's believed, up to 10 times and possibly hitting him 4 times. He was took from here to Altnagalvin Hospital, where he is described as critical but stable in hospital. It is a real shock for this area that has seen so much terrorism in the past. But while terrorism is the first that they will jump to, especially with dissident Republicans, we have to examine the cases that this particular officer was involved in, and most of those were around organised crime. In fact, they were pretty high profile cases and in and around the Mid-Ulster area, so that may be the first alleyway for the PSNI to be looking at.
Would this involve a rethink as to what officers do in their spare time, or indeed, I don't know if he was representing PSNI there last night as a community relations coach or whatever, but obviously there's got to be a review of how exposed off-duty police officers are.
Well, this has been a talking point in Northern Ireland for the last few months. In fact, many people inside society here wanted police officers to remove their guns. Of course, police officers in Northern Ireland are armed, and that goes back right to the 70s. And they wanted to lose their personal protection weapons. I think this is most definitely a case for that not to happen. I do believe this officer was involved with some of his family members here last night, coaching it. Very much like I would have, or you would have, with your children at a time. So we do believe that his son may have been present here last night, and he was involved in the coaching. So it was very much a family affair, I am led to believe.
And Dougie, just also want to emphasise to people, who may think this is sort of very typical of what they expect of Northern Ireland. It's not. We thought we'd seen the last of these sort of attacks a long time ago.
Well, it is. Northern Ireland has become a very lovely place to live. I can never stress that enough, what a nice social area it is. And areas like this in particular, Omagh has seen its fair share of the troubles. In fact, the worst terrorist atrocity ever in the UK was in this town. And it has come on many times. And this particular sports arena behind us would be all sorts of people taking part here. The GAA is a massive organisation in this area, and they are Gaelic soccer. This behind us last night was ordinary soccer. Just across the road from it would have been another ground. So, it is a very mixed area. It's a very affluent area. And most people now, it's got to be said, don't really care about the whole religious side of stuff. It's a very small minority that comes to, and that is really why, there has been a few attempts on officers' lives just up the road in Londonderry in the last couple of months, but they were very crude explosive devices that were thrown at officers. This one is more of a pinpointed attempted assassination of an officer, I would say.